when I make my sinigang, I make it like cereal with the rice at the bottom. Boom, like that. Then I pour up my sinigang. So I like it all to be flavored. I'm a big veggie guy. And sabaw, the sauce in Tagalog, is mandatory. All right, ready? Dear Lord, thank you for this food. Thank you for blessing us with this time together to share this food and share our culture with other people. We thank you for Auntie Tina for cooking this food, and myself also for cooking most of the food. And we just pray that we continue to be grateful, and we thank you for everybody around us. Jesus, name we pray, amen.
Amen. All right.
What up, y'all? My name is Camryn Bynum, aka Cam Beezy, aka Kuya Cam, Filipino-American player for the Minnesota Vikings. And this is my family here. This is my mom, Jen, or Tita Jen. This is Caleb, also known as Bunso, means the youngest. And this is Tita Tina, that's a tongue twister, but my Auntie Tina, which is her aunt, and she's the chef.
So if you start off with the soup, since that's your favorite, it's made out of pork spare ribs, and the soup broth is tamarind. The tamarind makes the soup sour. Tomatoes, and then the vegetables are basic onions, and then green beans and bok choy. And then the lumpias, kind of like our version of Filipino egg rolls, but you could use pork and shrimp, and it's grounded with carrots and onions. And our last common dish is chicken adobo, and that's made with vinegar, soy sauce, bay leaf, garlic, a lot of garlic.
A lot of garlic.
A lot of garlic.
I chopped a lot of garlic.
Yeah. And it's really that simple. And then what do you do, Jen? How did I teach you? You just put it all in the pot.
Well, yeah, that
Your
was the way I
version.
grew up. She taught me how to make it. And we just put it all in a pot and let everything boil and fry it with onions, garlic, soy sauce, vinegar, and let it all infuse with the flavors.
And then you reduce the sauce, and that's the
And you can smell it through the whole house when you're cooking it.
yes,
That's like one of the main things. You don't buy air fresheners in the house, you cook adobo. And
You can tell a Filipino
that'll take care of
house
it. Yeah, you
with
can
the
tell
adobo.
it's a Filipino house when you step outside on the front porch.
Yep.
So, yeah.
We have
Time to
calamansi.
eat. Oh, yeah.
One of your
And the
favorites.
drink, calamansi, which is one of the most famous drinks in the Philippines. My favorite, super refreshing. Yeah, so, kain po tayo?
Apo.
Let's eat. What is your favorite thing about Filipino culture?
It's a good one.
I'll go first. I'll say how important community is. Really, it's like everybody's a family. Like, for instance, when the family that we met here in Minnesota, the De Los Santos, I met them at the game, at the softball game, and they were just fans. And they invited me over to come eat, and they thought I was crazy all my friends thought I was crazy for going over to
I thought he was crazy.
a fan's house to eat.
Like,
But I was like,
Mom, I met these
I was like, they're
people.
Filipino. And so they threw a whole family party for me. And I ended up going to their house. They had all the kids there, a whole family there, threw a big family party. And I was like, that's Filipino culture, community, bringing people together to eat, whether you're related or you're not. Everybody's treated like family.
I heard about this family. I was like, what's this family that he met in Minnesota?
Yeah.
And everyone's like, we don't have family in Minnesota. I'm like, yes, we do now.
They're my new family. And it's
They're our
like,
family,
that's what I love about Filipino culture, because no matter what, we look after each other and everybody's treated like family, whether you're Filipino or not.
I always felt that hospitality in itself, it runs in our blood.
Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing, hospitality.
We're just very genuine, generous people when it comes to taking them in and making them your family. You treat them like family. You treat everybody like family. And I think that's something I'm proud about,
Right.
About our culture, because we really do feel that from our heart.
Like in college, like how I went to school in the Bay where you live,
Right.
all my friends, all my teammates we'd always come to your house on the weekends when we'd be struggling we'd be struggling to pay for food and buy our own stuff, and you literally saved our lives. Us come in there and it'd be a feast, and we'd have leftovers to go home with, and it was like,
Bring baong home.
yeah. All my friends were like, wow, you guys have the best family ever. They feed you like this every time. I'm
Oh
like,
my gosh.
There's never not food.
That's
ever.
Well, whenever anybody's hungry, they always come to my house, so
Yeah.
they always know.
What did Auntie Tina cook?
Exactly. Caleb, what's your favorite part?
I love the community because I was in the Philippines, like at the end of June when Cam had to go back for training camp, and it was just me and then Cam's wife, Lelaine, and we went to an island where we just met like 3 weeks ago at a boxing gym, and it's like our second family out there now. They invited us to their hometown by way of boat. We were gonna go on their boat, but we said next time when everyone's there, we'll go back. But they just treated us like family. They took us around the town. Yeah. They offered us food every night. It just felt like a second family out there, even though we just met them.
Okay, so how did I teach you about our Filipino culture as you were growing up, Cam?
I would say bringing us up to San Francisco. So us growing up in LA, and our whole family lives in San Francisco. When we were in Southern California, I say LA, Corona, California. When we were in Corona, we didn't have a lot of Filipinos around us or really about our culture. We weren't really exposed to it, but every Christmas break, every summer break, we go back up to the Bay with all of you guys and all the aunts and uncles in San Francisco. That's where I was able to really see, okay, this is how she lived, this is how she grew up. These are her siblings, all 6 of them. These are her aunts and uncles, all 14 of them. And
that's just like, Grandpa Melcher's side.
Yeah, and that's just one side of the family, and there's like 40 people not living in one house, but all in one family party. Yeah. And they're all siblings. It's just crazy to me, and really being around the family and seeing like how our family acts and who they are really taught me everything about the culture, just being in it, growing up and being away from it, then going up to the Bay, and they live in a whole different type of really different type of life up there, because everybody's living with each other. There's a lot of people in one house. Everybody's always in and out of each other's houses, and it's like you don't know who's siblings or you don't know who's cousins or who's friends, because everybody's always in one house. So that's like the most Filipino thing I was able to see growing up, is really being with our family. Then go to the Philippines these past few years and really seeing, okay, this is how culture is. There's a whole country that's like this. Like I feel like I'm at home always when I'm out in the Philippines, just because that's like really the culture there. But yeah, that's really how I grew up to learn about Filipino culture, is being with my family up in the Bay and just being around people and growing up and really realizing, okay, this is why we're like this, because back in the Philippines, this is what they do. Right. And this is just learned behavior.
That makes me so happy to hear, because that means that I did my part in raising Jen, and because it was really my mom and my dad from there to America. So now we kind of like assimilate both cultures.
Yeah,
and we didn't lose any of the important stuff. That's important.
I'm just glad you can still cook the stuff. That's the main thing. I need these recipes and these things to pass down.
Mom knew what she was doing and teaching me, and same with Dad.
Yeah, so I'm just glad.
Ended up being my career, so I mean,
you really get to practice. Food, It's the coolest thing living there. Like visiting there for vacation, it's like, okay, you get a little sprinkle of it, but being able to not be in the touristy spots and actually like, okay, get an apartment. This is my everyday routine. These are the people at the store I see every day, ringing me up for my food or whatever. Just being able to like really be a part of the culture and everything out there is where I learn. Like doing the vacation stuff, you learn stuff, but really like being in it and operating as like a citizen. Me being there, 5 months this off season straight, and then another month after during the summer.
You're very fortunate that you're able to travel back and forth. Yeah. A lot of Filipinos who are naturally dedicated go abroad and don't have that luxury.
They keep going.
Just imagine how much they miss their family, but they know they will struggle and they will sacrifice, and they will, your grandfather did that, with my mom, for us, and it was tough, I mean, being away for a long time, but they'll do the sacrifice just for the dedication to their family, It really is full circle, because now we have hardly any of the relatives on their side, and then you going there back and forth, it's like now they struggle to come here, and now we're able and fortunate to go back there
and enjoying it when we go back. So we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them
Yeah.
really taking
You're
that leap,
groundbreaking.
taking
Your
that
mom
leap of
wanted
faith to
to be
come
here,
to
yeah.
the States and really, and it's also cool going back to the Philippines and meeting our family that still lives out there in the Philippines.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, you're like my actual uncle. You know, people joke around and say your family, but those are like our actual uncles and aunts and uncles. And it's like, wow, you guys are over here living a completely different life in the Philippines, and we're over there in America, but we're still family.
Yeah.
All right, your guys, it's time to talk. What's it like to see me rep the Philippines in the NFL?
We kind of answered that. I mean, I
need more.
I need more love.
I love it because I feel like we are underrepresented as a culture.
We're very underrepresented.
Underrepresented, and a lot of people don't know
We're
our
overlooked.
history, our culture. So it makes me proud, and just it's a blessing to see you. You know,
I remember when I
wear
said to her,
the
I said,
flag.
you have to represent the Filipino culture. You have to. And I remember you said, Auntie Tina, I'm going to put it back on the map, you know? And I was like, good
Because there's
for
not
you.
very many Filipino, athletes
Yeah.
in the NFL.
Really overall.
Overall, yeah.
I know this is your guys' question, but like for me, growing up and just seeing the buzz, you see I have the Manny Pacquiao shirt on. Seeing what he
yeah.
did to the world and especially to the Philippines, like I talk to people that grew up like, they're older than me, so they're watching all the Manny Pacquiao fights and they're living in the Philippines during the fights, and they said there's no crime during his fights, no cars on the streets. The whole country would stop to watch his fights.
That's
and
amazing.
just seeing how big, like somebody Filipino doing something in the spotlight, doing something positive and helping his country out all at the same time, like that changed people's lives.
Makes you
and he
feel
was,
proud.
Yeah,
Makes
and he
you
was
feel
a-
like that's our Manny.
Yeah, so like for me, this is one of my favorite athletes of all time.
Yeah.
And me being able to meet him and see what he's done for the culture and just being an example, a godly man. Football is not as worldwide, but that's the goal, to bring it worldwide and really bring the eyes to help the people back home, because there's so many problems and so many people out there that are needing something to be inspired by. And for the Filipinos out there, being able to watch me do something in the NFL, that's a
Yeah.
big deal. And that's one thing I've learned being here. It's like, wow, what I'm doing on the field matters to these people.
Right.
And really being able to go out there, and I'm here, and like my reason I like to ball on the field is the more I ball, the more people I can help over there.
And the more rice
And
we
if
can buy.
The more rice we can buy for these families, the more communities we can build, and the more inspiration we have for the kid to say, I can do it too. So that's been cool.
Well, you definitely made our family proud.
Thank you.
You really
Thank
did.
you. I'm about to cry.
No, I know.
Aw. Okay, Caleb. Your time to
How
talk.
do you feel about your big brother?
It's a huge inspiration, seeing what he's doing for the small villages and how he's giving them rice and giving them so many supplies and tools to help them get back on their feet after the typhoons and everything. It's just making me want to also do that one day, try to get to the NFL and try to help those people in the small villages also.
So what are all the kids that you've made friends with out there when you were living in the Philippines for a few months this year, what are they doing to help their lives or help their families out, even as kids from 10 years old to your age, 15 years old? What do you see those kids doing to help their families out there?
I see them. So there's a mountain, and they're like a tourist mountain, and a lot of the little kids, like 5 years old to 10 years old, they're walking up the mountain 700 steps every day, every morning at 6 a.m. to go meet all the tourists at sunrise, selling water bottles, necklaces, just to try to get $9 a day so they could help provide for their family. And it's crazy seeing like selling water bottles for their family, that's different.
All right, this is for you, Cam. How has your perspective on your heritage changed since beginning to visit the Philippines on a regular basis?
I think it's helped me really enjoy learning about Filipino heritage even more. Just seeing, being able to travel to different islands out there and hearing different languages. You're on one island and you take a 30-minute flight to the next island and they speak a whole different language. And it's just crazy to me to realize
But they're the
that
same people, though,
it's the
right?
same exact people,
Just
same
different-
cultures,
yeah.
just different languages. but each little island, they're known for certain different things. So
And
like
they respect
Cebu,
each other.
they
They're
res-
not
Right.
kind of
Exactly.
like, oh, I have a better language. They're all just,
Yes.
they flow all together and they're just,
Yeah.
it's a unison thing, but just different languages.
Exactly.
It's
So
kind
being able
of-
to learn that
Yeah.
and just being able to add to the knowledge of certain things has helped me really enjoy it more, and being able to visit there and really see the nature and seeing how
It's beautiful,
cool
isn't
the
it?
country is. And I know a lot of people are always asking me, oh, you go do all your outreaches and help the people. Is it just a lot of just poor stuff out there, and is it all poverty? I'm like, no, this is
We have
one
some
of the
of the
best tourist
beautiful
country.
beaches.
This is the most tourist country, tourist-friendly country in the world. Most friendly people in the world, and the beaches are just the best in the
Amazing.
world. And it's just a
Beautiful.
beautiful country. And obviously, there is poverty everywhere, and there's poverty everywhere in this world. But that's not what marks the Philippines, because it's not a poverty mindset as
Right.
far
They're
as
resilient.
yeah,
We're
they're resilient
as
and
a
love their
culture.
situation.
You'll make it work, and as long as they have love, family, and
family.
they cannot
Right.
have anything else.
When I come back here in America, it's hard for me to complain about anything anymore, because I've seen just how people's hearts are towards anything negative, what we would think is negative.
Yeah.
Over there, that's a blessing to them. So
It is.
that changed my life, being able to go to the Philippines and really come back here. It's like it changed my whole way I live.
After visiting the Philippines, you come home, you have nothing to complain about.
Yeah.
Because we see firsthand, like, the families who live in the cemetery, the kids who don't have shoes, and we're feeding them in plastic bags that are melting because the food's too hot. So it's like, puts everything in perspective.
Yeah, it literally put every life into perspective.
Right.
And really being able to see how enjoyable things can be. Because out there, you walk around the neighborhoods and everybody's outside with their
Yeah.
friends and with the neighbors. Kids are playing outside. And you drive around some places here, and it's like, I might drive through my neighborhood and not see one person outside for weeks. But out there, if it's daytime and even nighttime, there's people
nighttime.
out singing karaoke, eating together, and just realizing, okay, that's really what this culture
culture.
is all about. And it's the same wherever you go, where you see Filipinos in San Francisco with you guys. That's how our family is. We're always all together. Anywhere, it's like, it put it in perspective that, okay, this is just how we are. And it's
Right.
just so beautiful to see like
this is who
how
we
big
are.
community
Yeah.
is.
I agree.
I agree.
How many cards left? And one more card left. Last one. Yay. Oh, for everyone.
What is something that everyone should know about Filipino culture?
Oh, gosh.
That Manny Pacquiao is the greatest fighter in the world ever.
Oh, I have a good one. They have the cheapest, best massages. Literally, 450 pesos for 90-minute massages. No, but I'm serious. But seriously, just like we were saying, the hospitality and community. Everyone's so
In a
welcoming.
nutshell, we're very loving people.
Love, yes.
We're very
yes.
loving. I mean, it's
I
just
agree.
that simple.
Right, exactly.
And that is more fun in the Philippines.
It really is.
That's the phrase, and that's a phrase
use
that
it.
people joke around about, but life is
It
more
really is
fun
fun.
in the Philippines just
Yeah.
because of the culture, the spirit of everybody, just community, the selflessness.
And we're all about respect.
Yeah.
Respecting when it starts, you respect, you
And being
get
humble.
what you give,
Like,
yeah.
you don't put yourself above other people.
No.
Never.
Just never.
Being humble. I feel like, Filipinos.
Filipinos what?
Wait, cut.
Restart.
You're gonna cut that.
Restart.
I know. I looked at the card and I'm like, wait, what was I thinking?
We had a whole lot
Yeah.
thing that we were talking about the last 3 days. And why does it seem so short now?
I don't
What are we missing? We have the best food.
And the best singers in the world.
Yes.
Filipinos can sing. Filipinos can sing, but I suffer from the
Underrated.
case of Filipinos who can't sing, unfortunately, but I'll learn one day.
Okay, and more seriously, we are very respectful people.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And loving people.
Respectful, loving,
And dedicated.
family-based, community-based.
We love to eat. And
love
cook
to eat,
together.
love to cook.
Food is our love.
And food and music is really what Filipino culture revolves around. And we just enjoy each other, enjoy things. Even if they're small things, we enjoy it all. And
Don't take anything for granted.
yeah, not at all. We don't waste food either.
No.
That's another thing about Filipino culture. You never waste food.
I will
so-
and you know I'll recycle.
Either
It'll be
recycle
fried
it.
rice the next day.
Yeah.
Throw an egg in it.
Yeah, you don't waste food. You don't really waste anything because that's against the grateful mindset that we have.
Right.
So really anything you always try and give and be
And we always
selfless.
respect our elders.
Yes.
Yes.
And before we get into the dessert, I just want to say salamat sa iyong suporta to all my kababayan, and just thank you to my family for being here and helping me out with this. And let's continue to spread this Filipino culture. And thank you guys for celebrating Filipino Heritage Month with us. And Caleb, what is that in your hand?
It's a mango cupcake.
Ube cupcake.
And we got the halo halo cheesecake, which is normally in a cup and ice, shaved ice, but you just put all this into a cheesecake, so it's way better.
And here we have an ube with macapuno cheesecake.
And thank you for watching this video. Maraming salamat, paalam, which means goodbye. I told you!